Welcome to this text evidence session where I'll explore how to identify and effectively use text evidence to answer reading comprehension questions. My focus today will be on English 1 and 2 reading passages and questions that simulate the STAAR test. I'll be using Easel by TPT, an online platform that's interactive, similar to the platform the STAAR test is on, and a notes page to demonstrate the STAAR reading strategy and how it can be used for online assessment. To aid your learning, free resources will be linked in the description. By following these strategies, you'll be better prepared to tackle your online STAAR test and sharpen your test prep skills. So let's begin. We will start by scanning the questions to see if they're whole or part. How does the language the author uses contribute to the mood in the story? Well, mood is kind of the overall whole story. Part B, which word best contributes to the mood in part A? So here we're going to be looking back at specific words, so that's going to be part. All right, let's target the text. The baseball game. Frances noticed an uncomfortable, anxious feeling that was growing in the pit of her stomach. She felt claustrophobic, surrounded by all those people who had crowded into Yankee Stadium to witness the pitcher's record-breaking game. Amidst the jovial atmosphere, no one seemed to notice the ominous black cloud that was slowly advancing overhead. No one, except Frances, abhorred thunderstorms. She tensed, feeling her shoulders slowly lift into their fight or flight stance. Her heart beat as the rush of wind picked up to an unnatural velocity. As members of the crowd began to notice the weather was shifting, Frances could smell the electricity in the air, threatening lightning that could streak across the sky at any moment. Frances leapt out of her chair and sprinted toward the nearest exit. So here we can tell that this is a fiction story about what's happening with Frances here in the stadium. Now we're going to actively read and think specifically more, since this is fiction, about setting, character, problem, and solution. Frances noticed an uncomfortable, anxious feeling that was growing in the pit of her stomach. She felt claustrophobic, surrounded by all those people who had crowded into Yankee Stadium to witness the pitcher's record-breaking game. Amidst the jovial atmosphere, no one seemed to notice the ominous black cloud that was slowly advancing overhead. No one except Frances abhorred thunderstorms. She tensed, feeling her shoulders slowly lift in their flight or fight stance. Her heart beat as the rush of wind picked up with an unnatural velocity. As members of the crowd began to notice the weather was shifting, Frances could smell the electricity in the air, threatening lightning that could streak across the sky at any moment. Frances leapt out of her chair and sprinted toward the nearest exit. So here we can see that the setting is this stadium that's crowded. The main character here is Frances. The problem is this kind of scary thunderstorm. There's maybe a bit of a solution. She leaves, but the story probably continues. But for this point in the story, her solution is really to get up and leave. So now that we've taken a little bit of notes that helped us think a little bit more deeply about the passage, now we can respond to the questions. So go ahead and pause your video, answer part A and part B, and then press play to see how you did. All right, I'm going to use the highlighter tool as I answer these, because that is a tool that's available for STAAR online, and it can be really beneficial when looking for text evidence. So part A, how does the language the author uses contribute to the mood of the story? So we need to think about the language really quick. So I'm going to go through and just kind of highlight some points of how she's feeling, so we can think about that as we're answering these questions. So she feels claustrophobic. There's a growing pit in her stomach. But there's also a little bit of a jovial atmosphere. But then there's this ominous black cloud that's advancing. She's getting into a flight or fight stance. Her heartbeat is picking up. There seems to be electricity in the air, and then she kind of leaps out of her chair and sprints toward the exit. So let's see how these words create kind of a feeling. So do these words express a feeling of surprise? Well, no, I don't think that's expressing surprise. I got a sense of feeling fearful here. To convey mystery about the storm. Well, the storm might be mysterious, but it's really, if it's ominous, it's kind of more scary. To emphasize the sense of confusion. I don't think she's confused at all throughout here. To create suspense for what will happen. Okay, that makes sense because it really feels like all this kind of scary language is building towards something. So here, the vocabulary is best supporting D. Okay, so here we're going to see which words best contribute to this mood. So we're going to go back and evaluate kind of what we already found with what's here. So uncomfortable and claustrophobic. So claustrophobic makes sense. Uncomfortable doesn't really build suspense. Crowded and jovial. Well, crowded, maybe it could, but jovial definitely not because we're not feeling excited for the overall mood here of suspense. Threatening and unnatural. Oh, that sounds good. I must have missed that earlier when I was skimming through. So let's see here. Oh, yep, the electricity in the air is threatening. And here the storm kind of picks up in an unnatural way. Okay, both of those words do sound pretty good for creating suspense. Ominous, yes, we did like that one. And then streak, okay, streak doesn't really make sense. So as we go back over here, we can see that this threatening and unnatural description of the story is really kind of contributing to this feeling of suspense. All right, let's repeat that again with a new passage. So we're going to begin with scanning the questions for part or whole. How does the author's use of language affect the mood of the article? So again, mood is the whole thing. What are the most likely reasons the author included the final sentence? Okay, so this is a part question where we're going to look back just at the final sentence. All right, let's target the text. Pepperoni pizza. Pepperoni pizza ranks as one of the most beloved dishes in America, largely due to its complex flavor profile. The spiciness of the pepperoni offers a tantalizing sensory experience that adds an exciting zing to every bite. Additionally, the savory taste of the cured meat combines flawlessly with various kinds of cheese and vegetables, resulting in a delectable pairing that never fails to satiate. Furthermore, the subtle smokiness provides a unique, rich depth of flavor that is unmatched by any other topping. Given its unique taste profile, it is no wonder that pepperoni has captured the hearts and appetites of so many Americans. So here we can see this is a nonfiction or informational text, kind of the positives of pepperoni pizza. All right, as we actively read again here, we're going to think about kind of who, what, when, where, and why about this nonfiction topic. Pepperoni ranks as one of the most beloved dishes in America, largely due to its complex flavor profile. The spiciness of the pepperoni offers a tantalizing sensory experience that adds an exciting zing to every bite. Additionally, the savory taste of the cured meats combine flawlessly with various kinds of cheese and vegetables, resulting in delectable pairings that never fail to satiate. Furthermore, its subtle smokiness provides a unique, rich depth of flavor that is unmatched by any other topping. Given its unique taste profile, it is no wonder that pepperoni has captured the hearts and appetites of so many Americans. So who? Well, this is really about pizza and people who love pizza and Americans who love pizza. What kind of like the positives of pepperoni pizza? So when is this happening? It doesn't really say. I don't really think that's super relevant. Where? Well, a lot of this is happening in America. Why? I think this is almost seems persuasive-esque of trying to convince me that pepperoni is better. All right, now that we thought about the text a little bit more specifically, let's respond to the questions and use text evidence. All right, go ahead and pause the video and answer both questions and then press play so you can see how you did. So let's look at the first question here since it's a whole question. How does the author's use of language affect the mood of the article? So again, I'm going to scan through and look for kind of like feeling words. So we've got most beloved dish, complex flavor, spiciness, tantalizing experience, exciting zing, savory taste, flawless, kind of delectable, unique, rich depth of flavor, unique profile, capturing the hearts. Okay, so all these words, let's see what that's kind of trying to express. Does it express a feeling of surprise? No, I wouldn't say that. Does it convey a feeling of excitement? Well, there is this little bit of excitement. We'll see. I don't know if excitement's the best, but we'll put that as a possibility. To suggest a feeling of uncertainty. Well, there's definitely no uncertainty. This person loves pepperoni, so it's not that. To create a feeling of warmth. Well, they kind of describe the flavoring and saying it's savory, but I wouldn't call that warmth. Okay, so let's go back. B, let's think about B a little more. To convey a feeling of excitement. Okay, well, all this language is very positive about pepperoni. This author seems very passionate. So I can see how, yes, this is coming across a feeling of excitement. So here B is the best answer choice. All right, let's move on to the next question here. What are the most likely reasons the author included the final sentence? Okay, so we're going to go back and just look at the last sentence here. Given its unique taste profile, it is no wonder that pepperoni has captured the hearts and appetites of so many Americans. So why is that important? Is it included to explain why pepperoni is enticing? Well, I don't think so because the explanations are coming up here. To show why flavors should be combined. Well, it talks about combining up here, so I don't think that's the point. To highlight the point that pepperoni is flavorful. Well, again, up here it talks about it being flavorful. This is talking about it capturing the heart, so I don't think so. To wrap up the main point of the article. Well, yes, this concluding sentence usually does that, so that sounds pretty good. To emphasize pepperoni being on top. Well, I would also agree with that because it says it's capturing the hearts of Americans, so that would kind of put it on top. Yes, so here we are looking for two answer choices, so D and E are our best choices. So now that you've seen me work through this text evidence, with more careful practice, you will be able to take advantage of what's actually written in the passage and what it's telling you. Then you can be more informed and confident about your answer choices. With this video guide and the helpful links in the description, you can have a great starting point to familiarizing yourself with this process of finding and using text evidence. All that's left for you to do now is to start applying your skills today.